It's a beautiful September day. So we're walking in the park with my doggies. It's called being in peace. Do miss sex. Still miss sex. Still miss a man. I did meet somebody though. I'm really hoping this is gonna work out. I really do. I'm not gonna stick around too long to find out, because I know from meeting somebody in the past that was an absolute freaking most stupid thing that I ever did in my life through the internet. But we won't go into all of that, will we now? That that person was across the world. At least this person's in Oklahoma, 5 hours away. Anyway, so I thought about something else about Kyle today, about my narcissist. And this one is the questions about that last time that I spoke with him, which was on I think it was a Monday. I think it was Labor Day, actually. So it's been like 10 days ago or something like that. And I had wrote him all these text messages on Google, because that's the only place that we hadn't blocked each other. I don't know, he might have blocked me by now, I don't know. He never did read the last things I said. But he knows that what kind of filth and dirt and trash he's done to me. Thing is he's not going to admit it to me. He will admit it to himself, but he's never going to admit it to me, nor will he admit it to anybody. So he's got a lot of karma coming. So anyway, I've been doing this Ho'oponopono, something like that, meditation. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I've been doing that it's going to be the 7th day, I think, today when I start doing it. Apparently you get results. It doesn't mean they're going to contact you, but you're putting that healing energy out. Even though you didn't do anything wrong, which in my case, I had my times when I said stuff that I wish I wouldn't have. But there was no way to ever make anything right with a narcissist. It didn't matter if it was 5 years ago or the day before. All of that was going to mix in with them warring on your mind. So, anyway, that day on Labor Day, he wrote me, because I had been saying, how could you do this to me? It's basically, how could you do this to me? I know that you cheated on me. I know that you were seeing other women, and you lied to me, you deceived me, you betrayed me. And I know he had been watching my YouTube comments, because he'd already admitted to it. And I know he watched my YouTube videos, because they were showing up like one person watched some of it. Not all of it, not very often, because I know that he didn't want to watch all this stuff about himself. So anyway, because that takes his ego and destroys it. Anyway, Nevaeh, come on, girl. So come on, Goliath. And so he told me that, basically, you need to stop abusing me. You're abusing me. Oh, why? Because you freaking hurt me, because you freaking betrayed me, because you deceived me and I caught you, so I'm abusing you? I mean, this is the way the narcissist mind works. This is why you can never talk to them about everything, because all the times when he would come to my house and he would be like, I'd be like, are you cheating on me? Are you cheating on me? I mean, you can't never get to the bottom of what's going on, because if you ask them, they're going to be enraged. So you just put up with it. Just like him telling me I just need to finish this house. I know you don't want me around anyway. And I'm like, what? What the hell, man? Like, seriously? Like, you're my boyfriend. Like, yeah, I mean, there was times that he would hate me so much, and the paranoia, schizophrenia, and all the other crap that he would do to me, that I'd be like, man, I wish this man would just freaking do my house and get out of my life. But then when we were getting along, I was like, I really do love him. So it was a back and forth thing. It was always back and forth. And it happened daily like that. It wasn't weekly or monthly. It was daily, because he was always swarming on my mind. So he says that about the abuse. And I called him right after that, and I said, I just want you to know one thing before, how did I say it? This is the last thing I'm going to tell you. I want you to know one last thing before I go, or something like that. I said, I can't remember the exact words right now, but it was something along those lines. And he goes, and I said, I loved you. And he goes, no! Like a freaking demon, man. Like a freaking demon. And he hung up on me. So I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell? And I'm thinking, maybe that's just a tortured soul. Like, in my mind, that's a tortured soul. Like, that's seriously like a tortured soul that can't handle love. But then I started questioning it today. I'm like, what was behind all that? Was it because he was losing control? I mean, he answered the phone like everything was fine, like normal Kyle. But then, and I mean, he had me blocked. I had to dial star 67. So he knew it was me when he answered the phone. And then I thought, you know what it was? And I mean, I'm going to talk to his spirit about this, because I'm learning things like that. And I'm having discernment through Jesus too. But he thought I was calling him about the house. Like, hey, I've got this thing going on with the house, and the dogs had to fight with the neighbors and killed their dog or whatever. And instead I said something like that. And that just messed with his head. Like, I wasn't supposed to bring up that, because that set in stone that what he did to me was so wrong, and that the karma was coming back to him because he hurt somebody that actually was not a cheater and actually did love him. And so that's kind of how my feeling that I got off of it. Like, honestly, if you ask him, he probably doesn't even understand why he did that. But I know why he did that. He did that because he actually wanted me to say, hey, I need you to come in and look at the house, please, or whatever. And the conversation didn't go like it needed to go. And he was like, no! Because he lost control. So then I started thinking to myself, okay, he wasn't seeing Christy in May. The last time I went over to his house was May 15th. And his little homeless buddy Scott said that he was lonely. And that's when I found some kind of girl thing that was laying on his countertop. And I said, whose is this? And they said, oh, that's Bonnie's. It was just really weird. And I was like, really? Like, I didn't even believe any of them when they said that, you know, Scott's wife. And so I just never did believe them, because there had been signs of a woman being in his house all that time anyway for a year. And when I was in that bed, I thought, because I'd only spent the night a few times over there in the year that he was there, and I just thought to myself, I feel the presence of another woman here. Like, I just don't feel like he was in this bed and had this bed by himself this whole time. And I couldn't get over the feeling. I tried, and I couldn't get over the feeling. It just felt like there was another woman in there. Here, Goliath, look. So, and I mean, that's fairly painful to think about, because my bed was just him, you know, that was it. So, then I thought, when did that thing start coming up when he was talking? Oh yeah, I got this girl. She's like 25. She's younger than even my middle daughter, and she works so good. And then that whole thing with him listening to Jewel, and me going, when did he ever listen to Jewel before? Yeah, I was trying to get that feeling that she gave him while I was laying in his arms, you know. So there was all these signs that, you know, that he was seeing this other woman. And, you know, first there was Janice, and I caught him with Janice, and then all of a sudden he was talking about Crystal, and Crystal came along about March or April, and I was thinking about that today. I went over to his house in May, so I'm thinking now what happened is that, you know, he was watching Crystal work, and Crystal was shaking her little booty in front of his face, and that's where I kept getting this image of her shaking her booty in front of his face. Like, see how my ass is? Don't you want a piece of my young ass? And that made him feel young again, you know, to be with some young chick. Kind of like how me and him felt when we first got together, and we felt like two teenagers in love, you know. We knew each other as teenagers, and we felt like we were teenagers again. So he felt all young, you know. He's getting this girl, 25, to pay attention to him, you know. So she's all shaking in her ass. And they probably did it, you know. They probably fucked, like, when they were supposed to be working or someday, you know. Went somewhere and went and fucked. Probably gave him a blowjob while he was driving the truck around, because, you know, he started telling me all the time how I ruined our sex life. Like, he was saying it more and more and more, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, seriously, we haven't had any problems, and you keep bringing our sex life up. Like, I didn't think we were having any problems, you know. He was saying that thing in 2016 when I talked to Kenny King. He was talking about how I was, that basically I was nothing but a whore for talking to my ex-best friend's husband. And then to come to find out that, like, you know, he split up with me and everything over it. And then, you know, he went into a freaking madness, and I said, well, you have a little dick, you know, because I was pissed, and I didn't mean it, but I was pissed, and I heard about that for 5 years, and it doesn't matter how many times I said I was sorry. Anyway, I'm about out of time, but the conclusion is that Crystal, I think the reason that Crystal lost her place to live, and that Crystal moved in with Kyle, was because her boyfriend caught her fucking Kyle. Bottom line. And she lost her place to live. And she was back and forth out at Kyle's house there for a while. Back and forth, staying with him, and then going back to her boyfriend, staying with Kyle again, then going back to her boyfriend. And there was all this problem going on between all the triangle love affair. And Kyle really wanted this girl, and he was trying to make a decision while he was at my house one day. You know, things are looking good with Crystal. I think I got her this time. And Crystal, like, left him again. I think Crystal keeps leaving him. Come on, guys, we're going this way. I think that's the problem. Crystal keeps leaving old man Kyle. And Janice was out of the picture because he was fucking Janice there for a little while. But he said Janice was gross because that's when Crystal came in. So Crystal, I was thinking this whole time it was at the end of May that Crystal and him started fucking. No, it was April, but maybe even March. But they didn't get busted until the end of May when her boyfriend busted them. That's what happened. That's why she got fucking kicked out. Can you believe that shit? And so that's why his karma's fixing to kick his ass. That love bombing did not help that old man. It's a big, huge love triangle. And that's why he had to stop talking to Janice. By the way, he kept saying that him and Janice were old friends. No, they weren't. That was another lie. I don't know where he met that ugly chick at. But that was just all part of his harem that he had going, that he always wanted, that he told me that he always wanted. And so, yeah, there's the secret. I finally figured it out. Finally know the truth.